All right, guys, happy Monday. And the market is pushing to the upside. I'm going to go through again some of the changes that I've made on this current version. So I'm on 30.16. It might be 17 or 18 by the end of the day. But if all this stuff tests out, and this is where, if I was going to do a discretionary long, I'm really itching to do it right there. You guys see why? There's literally nothing in the way to the upside. I don't know if it's going to go up from there or not, but man, I would be itching right there. All right, now the large chart says okay, possible trade, but you know, I think it was a little bit late. The rules weren't quite true, so if we get a pullback into the zone and a reversal bar up, we'll get a long signal, which I'm totally cool with now that we've broken out. And I mean, do we want to take a quick first turn? Never mind. I guess the market decided for me. All right, there you go. So I think discretionarily you could have got in a little earlier. System did a damn fine job of that one. Um, would it be safe going long? Yeah, that's what we were just talking about. I mean, not to switch back to trading view, but we were talking about the strength on the, even though it's a pretty area, on the big chart, that's why I called it herpes simplex 13. It's pretty, but you don't want to kiss it. And what I mean by that is you don't want to sell that area because there's too much strength on your small chart, which that's a whole nother ball of wax. But, that was very much in line with what we saw here, which was very strong market, breakout to the upside. System did really good job right there, I think, of going long. And the fibs, if you've never heard this before, but fibs rock. Having a big Fibonacci area right there just freaking killed the market. Great profit target for those of you guys trading up to it. Yeah, I may do it. All right, discretionary zone to the downside. Now we're talking, look at the difference on TradingView just for fun. See how they're actually starting to roll over here and lose some of that momentum? And again, for those of you guys that ever took my class, the white paint bar with the 8-3 triggers going down usually is a pretty damn good trade when you got an area. You'd have to be pretty quick and assertive with that one. But anyway, really good top, divergence, really strong. It didn't get back to much right there, but anyway. Discretionary look. They don't until. Well, here's. I don't know. I don't know why the difference on yours. Huh. Interesting. I don't know. I mean, there's no setting to make it go different. It just does what it does. So maybe, who knows? I don't know the answer to that question, Dima. Yeah, I mean, probably more like platform. This is how it is. All right. So look, 67 guys, line in the sand. Again, if we're talking about doing discretionary trades, if you're interested, you're going to have to do discretionary shorts because the large chart's not in a position to generate signals. So, anyway, we're in chill mode at the moment, system wise. Again, I'm going to just repeat this. If we get back to this area, we're really going to have to watch it. It would be awesome if we got up there and then rolled over a little bit, but we may not make it that high. We'll see. And because we're above all of our triggers and above our little cell zone, discretionary trades are just that, discretionary. We're not going to see any system trades. So far, after I remade my workspace, everything's working perfectly. So this is a good thing. If it continues to work perfectly, you guys can have one at the end of the class. Okay, I'll make one and zap it out to you guys. All right, guys. There will be no shorts from the system. Obviously, we had talked about getting back to the 32 to 20 area on the 15-minute chart. So I don't have any good reason why they're probably not going to keep going down. I'm just going to throw a wild guess in there and say fibs and mid bands still. Probably a really good spot to watch. This one's a little out of bounds right here because it's strong triggers. Dima, this is exactly what I was talking about on that trading view chart, right? We get back to an area, but the triggers are so strong that the idea is we're probably going to make it to the higher area first. And then when we get to the higher area, which I think is going to be 67 across the board, give or take, if we get there, then that's where we either have to have a breakout or we'll get discretionary shorts. Make sense? It would help on the small chart to have the blue-red zone when both the large triggers agree and turn gray when they disagree. Rain, you can do that. So on the strategy, if you only wanted to generate a zone when there's a signal, you just turn off the show all zones all the time input. And then it's only going to show the zones when your conditions over here are true. So you set your conditions over here, and then it'll only plot those over here. Sergio, the only new setting is going to be whether you want to plot the zones all the time or not. So now look, we've got zones. This is where, for me, because we've got a little room to the area. If we got back to the 1-to-1, I'd give it a couple ticks and see if we can get a short. It's not quite as good after a pivot stop out, but usually they go finish that move off, and we'll see. I'll pay for it, and if I lose it, I lose it. I'm not going to risk much on it. So it's either do or die right now. So this is a discretionary trade. Short, trying to get the rest of that move to the downside. We'll see what happens. All right, stops are trailing. All right, we got half of it. Should we take it all, or should we see how far she goes? It's just too close to too many lines. I'll take it off. Anyway, a little discretionary love right there from our zone, from the areas. And again, it's really important that the large chart triggers agree with what you're doing if you're going to do it discretionary. All right, questions on that? Probably get another one, but I'm not doing it. One is good. One and done. All right. So look, that's the darn rule that gets true after the fact, which is no good, obviously. You'll see the arrow in history, but you're not going to get it live because it just doesn't happen. Anyway, so now look, we've got a fib hit. And Number one, there's not a wick. Number two, we've hit a fib. And number three, usually we're not going to get another signal from the zone. I mean, we may get a short, but the system's not going to generate a short. That's because we don't like you, Mike. Didn't you get the memo? I'm not showing anything. The fibs are a calculator. It takes my data, does the analysis, plots the fibs, that's it. So the only reason why you wouldn't have something I have is because there's a different input going into the calculator. Either time or data or something's different. So again, look, from a discretionary, looking back in history, is that one you would take? Maybe with these strong triggers. I took one. I'm not really out to try to take every discretionary trade on the planet, but it's not a bad look if you were going to indulge in a discretionary short. All right, let's see what you got here. All right, you had a short on you didn't have the fib, so you actually got a short. Hell of a trade. Nice job. So you're up $2,300. Quit. Yeah, they can be. And here's the other thing. I have a kinetic data feed connection, which is technically fed through NinjaTrader, but from DTNIQ. It's not actually the CQG data feed. So there could be a slight discrepancy because I'm not on a prop firm data feed or a live account data feed. I'm just on a paid data feed. Looks like we're going to get another short here. Not going to do it, but there's a chance 08 holds. We got fibs on both charts right here. I guess if you're going to do a discretionary trade, that's a hell of a spot to do it from. What do you guys think? We'll take one more. If they pop through there, then we'll say no go. Fibs on both charts, I'm a fan. And now we're getting really close, so I'm going to get it really tight. And I'm out. Anyway, that's fibs on both charts. I got to take one. Sorry, guys. And then I got out here, so not a bad little discretionary chunk right there. What do y'all think? Anyway, this system won't generate it because I've got the wide trigger condition. So, the system doesn't have wide triggers here. So, but the fact that I had areas on both charts, what the hell? It's worth a couple $100. But we've had a couple really good system trades and we've had two really good discretionary trades. All right, everybody go home. Get the hell out of here. Like my wife, she was done at 7:30 this morning. Shall we keep going? All right, with divergence and triggers rolling up, there's about a 90% chance we make it up here. You know that? I mean, maybe it's an 80%, but there's a really good chance we're going to make it to the fibs and mid bands because that's what happens. From a discretionary standpoint, I would guess it doesn't happen any lower than this. I mean, it may make a pivot stop out right here, but I think you'll probably see it from the top of the large triggers, and then it's just going to go chink and run up to the mid band. But anyway, this is the ideal spot for it right there. If you get down that low, though, they may just keep on trucking to the downside. That's the only problem with it. So anyway, we'll see what happens. See how they hit the large triggers? Usually, if they're going to make it to the mid band, this will hold. Anyway, just too much discretion on that. So all right. I would guess 08 is your target if you do decide to go long. I'm not touching it going long into a fib. So I think it's going up. I would bet money on it, but I'm not going to bet money on it. Just seen this look too many times for it not to get to the mid band. Um, and I want to also say something, guys. There's no substitute for 30 years of experience. If I make it sound like it's too damn easy and I'm reading it like a book, it's because I am, and it really is that easy. But if it doesn't feel that easy to you, it's time. The more time you spend with it, the more comfortable you're going to be. David, I am on 630.16.4, which you guys will get a copy of today, or maybe it'll be 0.5. I may have to touch up one or two more little things, but today I promise you guys will have this. It'll be on the website. And I did say that I was going to change the date on the website when I finally post this upgrade. So just for future reference for you guys on the support page, which let me give you a link just so you have it. Tim, when you start a sentence with I think, it makes me nervous. So look, download NinjaTrader. I'm going to change the button and say current installers, and I'll put a date on the button, okay? So when this button changes with the date, you'll know the update's done. And I'll put my workspaces, my chart templates with dates on them in there for you guys as well. So if you're updating, you may want to update those too. Yeah, I'll do that for sure. Yeah, I'm pretty locked into what I'm doing as far as entries. Discretionary trade, mid band and fib with a little room to the next fib. What do you think? We'll see if they give an up bar here. They could get to 10 just because of the big chart, but my guess is you get one more long that takes you up here. It's not super strong, so, but I would guess you're going to get a one good push. All right. So we've got lower divergence, and again, I'm not going long into a red fib. It just doesn't feel good. And again, I still think potentially we needed to get to the 10 area, which now we've done. But look, use my trigger line trick. Do these small triggers being below the large trigger scream, let's do discretionary trades? Not really. I would bet a nickel that we're going to end up going up from here. But as far as discretionary trades, it's not the best look. It's an okay look, but for me personally, anyway, you don't have to take them all to make a bunch. So just so happens we had fibs and divergence here, so that kind of helps this large chart out. So anyway, see the triggers are down and we got a red zone, so I'm still not going long, even though I think we're going up higher. I think we'll get to 34 to 45, technically, I think is where we're going. Well, I've got a different data feed than you guys do, so maybe there's a little data feed discrepancy. I could probably try to do like an Apex data feed. What data feed are you guys running? Ninja, Real Money, Apex, Take Profit. What are y'all doing on your Ninja? Take Profit. I do also want to say something else, guys, just so you know. We have put in our application to have Ninja as a prop broker as well as the amp that we're using. So if all goes well and they don't deny us for some crazy reason, we'll have the ability to do Ninja prop and amp prop. So stay tuned. If you ever want the life sucked out of you, open a prop firm. If you ever feel like you've got too much life in your blood, open a prop firm. I don't have a preference. I don't care. I just trade whatever's on the chart. Yeah, it's okay. So, like, now what do you guys think? Look at your triggers on your big chart. We've got a signal. We got to get down into the zone a little bit, which it should get right down in there. And then what do you guys think? Signal if it goes? I mean, I would probably get in at the area, but all right, now we've got to decide. Well, I'm not making any decisions. I just let it go. Do we want to put a target or tighten up if we get to a? Well, I guess it doesn't matter. We'll get another signal if it. I think I've only got it set to one. I personally would leave my stop down here and say, screw you guys, come get me, but Mark's crazy ATM. Now that is a better exit, in my opinion. So I hate the ATM on that one trailing me out right there. Every trigger on the planet was up, and the stupid ATM got me out for no good reason. So I think that cost us some money right there. Right, Mike? Anyway, what do you guys think? Good trade? Signal on the big chart, got in the zone, reversal bar, easy peasy. All right. Now, I guess it's a good time to say if you guys own indicators but you don't own a strategy, I told you guys on Friday I'll give you 20% off if you do the lifetime. So you can't do it here. You got to call your person, your salesperson. So if you want one, come get one. We'll still do the lifetime for you. If you want to lease it, you can always lease it for 90 days. But I think you guys are going to find it really helpful and really beneficial. And for those of you guys that got the early copies, I appreciate you guys very much and all of the faith that you had in me over this time to make sure we get things right. So anyway, we're getting close. I've got HBNS, which is a syndrome, happy but never satisfied. So I have a feeling I'm probably going to continue making updates on this thing, but I am super pleased with where it's at and what it's doing. So I think we're in the right spot at the right time, but you know, I would imagine as well that if we hold this spot right here, we're going to get another push up based on the large chart. It's really going to be dependent on it right there, which, anyway, really tough discretionary trade, so we're not going to take it. But if it goes up from here, I'm not going to be surprised. 67 would be target for any longs. My guess is you can go long on an up bar and put your target like right there and you'll be happy. That's just a guess. Just a guess. Not going to do it because there's shit in the way, but my guess is we go up here anyway, even with stuff in the way. Anyway, not doing it. Not doing it. Not doing it. It'd be even better if we came all the way down here and hit the midband and fib and then started over. But that's a little ways off. So even if you did go discretion, lower divergence would take you out. So like I said, I'm not a super fan of trading back into trouble. on rare occasion when the large chart is so strong, I would maybe do a little something with it. But anyway, you guys have to decide for yourself when you're. Yes, Aaron, if you want to do it, I'll make a coupon and you guys can just check out on the website if you want. Hang on. If you guys want to do that, just wait till the end of the day and I'll make a coupon for the 20%. And then you guys can use it, which will be good through the end of the month. Well, that's what, tomorrow? Yeah, so I'll give you. Maybe I'll make it good through the end of next week too. So I don't want to look. I don't want to pressure anybody, really. I mean, you either want it and you see the benefit to it, or you don't. It's just totally up to you. So I'm not trying to. We don't high pressure people. It's just not what we do. Yeah, I think you're gonna get your 5Ks worth out of it really quick. And again, I still, it's much closer now to a set and forget, but I don't think it's ever going to be a set and forget. All right, well, we did make it back to 32, which is really cool. We got fibs on both charts, but there's no damn reason to think it's going to hold yet. So we do have high volume areas at 24 on our 1 minute chart, for whatever that's worth. Not that I watch my high volume lines on the 1 minute chart, but it just so happens that 24 is right there. My triggers are kind of up, half down. Anyway, sounds like somebody trying to manufacture something to do, doesn't it? All right. Okay, potential short trade. So much for the idea of going up. What do you guys think about a short? Yay or nay? It'd be better from right there. Oh, why did I only have one lot on here? Did I switch that on my ATM? Dang it. All right. Well, it may or may not stop. Here, I'll get my second one on. Again, this is do or die spot right here, guys. And you can see why, because we have fibs on the big chart. My small triggers were below, and they're 50-50 on giving out. So I think we're in no man's land right here. It's probably going up. Yeah, that's okay. I don't mind trying to sell. You can see the little yellow mark where I sold. I think the discretion on that was good. Waiting for a down bar probably wouldn't have gone afterwards, but this is the way I look at it. This is the decision making spot right there at 30.50. And I'm okay losing 3 or 4 points on the NASDAQ. That's not a big deal. Anyway, so one discretion against me for $100. Yeah, I mean, look, if it doesn't go, if it goes, then we get, 20 points plus. And if it doesn't, we'll break through and things will roll back up and they just overran. And then we'll get hopefully another system long here in just a second. Looks like we're geared up for it if we can get a pullback. So, of course, these are the ones that'll never pull back because they're like, aha, we tricked you. And then they just won't give you your pullback. All right, we got it. Now the question is, do we want it? Ideally 44, but I think it's going to go early. Man, we're so close to the freaking pivot stop out. I'm just not going to lose money into a pivot stop out. I'll give it a half a second, but if it doesn't blow through, then I just don't like trading into pivot stop outs. All right. Break even at the fib. Whatever happens, happens. Oh, we got half of it. And 69, we're going to get tight, real tight with it. All right. We're going to get tight with it. If it comes down, it comes down. If it doesn't, all right. That's a good long system long, huh? Scared me a little bit going into the pivot stop out, but I was pulling my stop up and not bad, huh? So far. I mean, the new system, I think we can so far say we're on the right track here. Yeah, I was worried about it, but worrying about it doesn't change it, does it? The large chart said we were going, and that's why I gave it a chance. So, system is smarter than me. Yeah, not bad. All right, now, large chart says more up. Do you take a discretionary trade from the fib when the large chart says more up? Most of you do. I didn't, but that's a damn good spot for it. One of my favorites. And that would be the target area for it right there, right at the fib. Did I say fibs rock and roll and rule? Anyway, from blue fib to red fib and parties on. You know what? I wrote them in the 90s, and it still amazes the crap out of me. I'm like, damn. And my wife uses them on the 1 and 15-minute chart, on that workspace. Oh, and she loves that. So I haven't even seen her since 7:30. I saw her once, but she got up early, caught a move, and shut it down. Well, she's watching. Here, I'll show you guys. Since we're not going to get a signal in a minute, I'll show you what she watches. This is the workspace she watches, which is technically a duplicate of what we have on TradingView. So she'll run this chart. So, for example, her trades were long right here, out right here, and she was long right here and out at 50. Anyway, right there. So she got a couple of really good ones early, and I think she made like 12 grand on a 4 lot. And she's like, I'm out of here. So, anyway, it was a great day. Good to her. Look, there's going to be great days, and sometimes the days don't go great. It's just part of the business. But long term, if you're consistent in what you're doing, I think everybody can see the benefit of, we had a blue fib or we had a red fib, but it broke out. And then it goes to the red fib, and then we get triggers past the red fib, which means we're going to the next one. So, is it worth it? I was a little surprised we didn't get down here to kind of finish off the bottom, but anyway, that's just my thinking. I think we still go up a little bit. But looking at your small chart, again, this is the old fib support up to fib resistance, and then didn't quite make the pivot stop out. And then here is your pivot stop out. So that's a good spot with a white paint bar up for a long trade. Anyway, if you're into that kind of thing, this is so much slower than dynamic Renko bars. So much slower. But anyway, it's a really kick-ass workspace. No, we do not. That was NinjaTrader. This is NinjaTrader. But it's the same workspace size-wise, and all the indicators with the exception of the fibs, and again, this is why my wife watches this chart with this chart next to it. So these are her two monitors. She's got TradingView on one and Ninja with the same exact thing on the other, but so she can have fibs and whatnot. I think it's a good combination. I told her, we're going. Oh, damn it! I closed the wrong effing workspace. Shit! I closed my system workspace. Dang damn it! Let me open it back up. um, can you get the workspace? Absolutely. We're all about sharing. That's kind of the point of the room and what we're doing. So here's a zip file. Save that to your workspaces folder, and then if you want to save chart templates off of it, do so. But I love, again, look, you can't, my personal opinion, because I've tried it, I know Mark's tried it, and even my wife tried it. You can't really watch dynamic Renko bars and try to trade the one 15-minute chart. They just, if they both say the same thing, then it's kind of easy slam dunk. But there's a lot of times where they just don't jive. And I think you really, unless you're really good at what you're doing, I think you're going to make life very difficult on yourself if you're trying to do dynamic Renko bars on one side and then minutes and 15s on the other. You have to be really good at the analysis and quick to say yes or no. And anyway, just my thought. Crypto. Any chance I can teach for a week? I'll give you better than that. Here, watch this. Here's about 30 hours of me teaching on video. Yeah, I'll probably teach. Sorry, I thought you said for a week. My bad. I didn't read the whole sentence. ADD got me. Oh shit. Let me turn on my strategies. Hang on. I don't see any reason why I won't. I love doing it. I don't mind being in here. Um, I guess I missed a short trade, didn't I? I don't want to do a short trade here after 3 divergences and a fib, even though it's probably going to go down a little more, but I ain't touching it. So we missed one for me closing down the system, which, again, you could have squeezed out 100, $200 out of that one, but I think that's it. Yeah, I mean, I've done it for a long, long, long time. So now look, I'm digging this. Fibs hold, fibs hold. You start thinking to yourself, where's my next areas? I got 10, 25, and 33 up here. So a little more of a breakout here, and we should see plenty of opportunities to the upside. I mean, lots of opportunity. So we'll see what happens. I think they're going to make up their mind here in a second. I think they're going up. So say the fibs, which I do appreciate. Yep, thank you. I got them enabled. So I missed one for being disabled, and I even have my workspace open. But anyway, we need a deeper pullback here because number one, the triggers are too far apart. Number two, we've got a pivot stop out at fibs, so they got to pull back a little more, or it's not going to be an easy discretionary long. I like it. I think we're going up. I don't think there's any reason to think anything but long trades, but they're just going to kind of make it difficult for a second. We'll see if all this stuff kind of tightens up and the red line turns blue and all that fancy stuff, and then we'll see what happens. A little more push will get the system to generate one. Look, this one rule of making the large trigger get above your EMA, it's a really good rule in the long run, but there's a lot of times where it misses a lot of really good trades because of just a little bit, right? So again, that's why I really came up with let's just plot all the zones all the time, and then that way, if it's 97% ready to go but not quite, then you'll get the opportunity for a trade from a discretionary basis. My guess is that's it. Usually the top of the fib will be it. I'm going to take a little assertive one. We'll see if it goes or not. Should we take off at the first sign of trouble? A little pivot stop out, or well, all right. We won't lose any money. Really would like to get at least the 1-to-1 for the first target, which we did. Anyway, those are those discretionary ones where it's like right at the edge. Let's see if we can give it a little room and see if we run up a little farther. Are you guys having fun? I think we're having fun. Hopefully we don't get much past the 99 anymore and we just keep on trucking. Mark's ATM is in effect, so I just don't see any reason for us not to go a little higher. But there's another doorbell. So here's the question: do you want to add on to a trade? Well, I guess it took me out, so the answer is no. All right. Well, they made it to the mid band. That'll probably be it. A little overrun. My triggers look like they kind of blew out there. I'm going to refresh with the F5. My guess is we're still going long. My guess. But we'll let the system do its thing. So good system signal. Made some money. No complaints. You like listening to my thought process? Well, you don't have this current version, so you're not going to get the same thing as me, probably. So, all right. Anyway, that was a discretionary from the top of the fibs, the mid bands, and zones. Obviously, we took some off at the 1-to-1s, and then they got me for a little couple ticks on the runner. I really thought that thing was going to go, but I was watching the damn S&P chart. Here's what I was watching. I didn't even notice it wasn't. I was just watching this chart going, man, this is really good. We got a lot of room to go on the S&P. But I thought it was the NASDAQ. That's why I was hanging in there for dear life and not taking money. If I was watching the NASDAQ chart, I would have known that we hit a zone on that thing and probably would have taken all that money off. But anyway, whatever. No big deal. There's a little discretion in there. All right, so now our triggers suck on the big chart, so we're not going up, or we may go up, but it's not going to be easy. So I don't see anything happening. I'm going to take a break. I'm going to go take a pause for the cause. If you guys have questions, now's the time to put them in. Let me know. Otherwise, I'll be back in a few minutes here. I'm being silly here, but that way, because everybody's going to go, where the hell is he? The minute I leave, so I'll do it like this. How's this? Let me make these F's, F, and then now this way people won't ask questions. I'll be back in a minute. No such thing, Midnight Cafe. This is a go forward only system, not a go backward system. So we've been teaching this. You guys can ask the people that have been here forever. These rules have been taught for decades. So the only thing we care about is go forward. What happens in the real time and what happens going forward. You can't make money with a back test. If anybody's ever made money with a back test, you show them to me. They'll be the first person in human history. So we're a go forward only system. And if you don't understand why it's doing what it's doing before I take my break, all you have to do is go into the trading guide and then start at the top of the Ninja Trader indicators and work your way down through that section, and you'll understand why. So it's not really a black box, it's what we've automated for years. So, anyway. All right, guys, I'll be right back. Short break. Okay, I did put in there for you, Midnight Cafe, the link to the user guide. So if you want to go through and learn a little more about what we do and why the system's doing what it's doing, but it's basically automating this section 1 through 6 on the trend trades. Short burst. I think we're going up still. I think there's room to go to the upside. But anyway, short break. I'll be right back. Okay, guys. All right, guys, I am back. Looks like we missed ourselves a good one. Short. So, literally, textbook right there. Zone, areas. You didn't miss it. I missed it. Johnny. Thanks. But that was a really nice little short with the system. I had it off, but I guess even if I left it on, it would have done what it did without me, but whatever. Hey, if it was me and I was trading a two lot, this is what you guys would see. So I'm trading a two lot. Watch this. You would see this. Goodbye. Have a nice day. I'm headed out on the boat. That's what you would see. Assuming that I was trading a two lot. Because look, my goal for the day is $800 a contract, give or take. So being up 1,400 a contract, that would be when I would say enough is enough. Anyway, look, we hit fibs on the big chart. We hit fibs the other way on the small chart. So somebody's going to win here in a minute, and we'll see what happens. So if we break out of 91, we'll keep going. If we break, I don't think we're going to break out of 68. Looks like it's going to hold, but if they retest it and put in a little pivot stop out or something right there, maybe a bottom. We'll see what happens. All right, guys, we will see what happens. Fibs at 69. My guess is they hold based on the trigger line configuration. And we take it to the upside from 69. Anyway, that's just my thought. Oh, you can see my chart, right? I'm streaming. I can see it. All right, so like I said, maybe it won't hold. I mean, that was the spot to hold. It's not like you're going to go long because the spot may hold. It's like herpes simplex 13. It's pretty to look at, but you don't want to kiss it. Anyway, it's a pretty area, but we're not trading it. We're waiting for a breakout. Now we get ding dong. So potential short trades. What do you guys think about shorts? Well, it's not a matter of what you think about them now. This is a very tight into a fib area, so I'm probably going to get pretty tight on it. Stop. Okay, so I've disabled my system because it may go down, but look, there's just not a lot of room, and having a pivot stop out before a short from a fib is just not my favorite thing. There's just not a lot of reason to mess around with that. I mean, it could go, and if it goes, it's going to go all the way down to here, and you'll be like, "Oh, I could have made more money." It's a good look on the big chart. But I'm not taking it on the small chart because these are the areas where you get that third divergence and then it sprawls up on you or whatever. So, anyway, if you took it, I'm still okay with it. Just for me personally, just not enough room to be able to even manage. This one was even too tight, but I took it because maybe it just rips through. And if it ripped through the first time, cool. Like we've seen one of those already. But if it's not ripping through really quickly, then it's just, for me, just not worth it. If we get through here, we'll get another signal. And now that we're getting through it, if we get another signal, I'll be okay with it. Maybe we will, maybe we won't. Oh, one more change I'm making, guys. Everybody understands wide triggers, right? So you get the wide triggers down and everything's fine. Right now, the code is written so if any trigger gets back inside, it's not wide triggers anymore. And I'm going to change that so that way both triggers have to get inside. And because there's like one or two trades a day it'll miss because of that one trigger getting inside. I think one inside's okay. Once they both get inside, obviously, then it's weak. Not that it always stops, but anyway. Oops. All right, questions, comments, concerns. As we head into noon, sometimes the market gets a little squirrely at noon. People go to lunch. People who are up money quit, which we'll probably just quit early today. I mean, in a little bit. I got to make you guys a coupon for anybody that wants one, and I'm going to create a version that I will put on the website, and you guys can download it and get up to speed and get up to current with this version. I think the market orders inside the zones is really a needed improvement, and I think you guys will be really happy with it. So we'll get done here in a minute. Again, I don't mind being in here a little longer if you guys have questions or things you guys want to go through, but goals have been achieved. This is where, can I go show you guys something from trading plan? Hang on a second. Bear with me a second. Let's see. So, for example, this is basically my thought process or my. Yes, David, I will give you that template. My daily goal is $800 contract, and we're trading a 2 lot, so we're up 2,900 almost. And look, I'll keep trading until I have a $200 trailing stop per contract, which would be $400 in this scenario. And if you keep going and winning, then there's no reason not to keep taking trades, right? The way I look at it. If you lose $200 a contract of your, 1,500, 1,400, you don't want to give it. You guys have all been the victim. I've been the victim of you get up a few grand and then you give it all back and then plus because you're pissed off. And there's no worse feeling in day trading than making a bunch of money and giving it all back plus. I don't know about you guys, but for me personally, I can speak from experience. That sucks. You know, I mean, I'll throw one more in there. My wife the other day, I was like, how'd your day go? And she's so mad. I'm like, what? She's like, I made 2 grand. I'm like, that's good. I said, there's nothing wrong with 2 grand. And she's like, no, but I was up 7. So it's just that feeling of, you get to a certain point, you got to kind of put some curbs in for yourself so you don't do anything crazy, that you might regret later. And you can see, look, they're struggling. We've got 4 divergences down here, plus a 1-to-1 on the big chart. So system's not going to generate any signals. If it gives one, then I'll take one more, and then we'll probably be done for the day, win, lose, or draw on it. You guys have seen what you needed to see for the day, right? And it was kind of good. I mean, I hate to live test in front of God and everybody, but I guess I did it anyway. So I think the test is successful. I think everything's okay. I think you guys can have this version right away, but I'd like to do. I'll just make it since it's working and doing everything right. And then if I make any more touch ups, we'll add to those later. I am running his ATM template for the class. Yes. And then just so you have it, I mean, just to be easy, Because I sent, let me double check something. All right. Would you guys like to have show all zones on as default? That's all I really need to know. If the answer is yes, then I'll save this and I'll save a template and I'll call it default receiver chart. And I'll put a date on it for you guys so you know 3/30/26. So if you want to run the exact same one that I'm running, this will be it. And then let me go to strategies and I'm just saving the template off of the date so that way there's no questions when you guys actually do the installer. Okay. I think I'm just going to leave it as is. I mean, this has been pretty darn good. Leaves a little room for a couple discretionary trades in there, but do you guys want the sound on or off? I'll leave it on as default, and then we'll call it template, save. I mean, I've been using this one for a while, so I feel really good with it. I'll call it 3/30/26. I guess I should format it the same. 3/30/26, 3/30/26 receiver. All right, save. All right, so we've got both of those templates saved off. And if you want to just have them, I'll give them to you now so you can put them in if you don't want to load everything on God's green earth that the installer does. So here is your, oh, yeah, that's not going to generate a signal anyway. So those are the system templates. I don't watch the ES, but I would use the same thing on the ES. Maybe your templates might, or ATM might be different, but I wouldn't change anything. And I would be looking to take a discretionary signal from there because with divergence and both triggers up, you usually make it back to the midband. So 38/40, probably pretty easily. The receiver, do you have the current version of the software, Deborah? Oh, you don't. All right. Well, you got to wait for that one. I gave you the template early, but now, all right, we're going to go down this route. Hang on a second. All right. I'm going to make a version that I can send out. Actually, I got to add a couple people's stuff on here. So when we're done, I'll make a version. I'll have it on the website in 20 minutes after we're done. So we are creeping towards, look, we're up enough money that I'd be done. So we don't have to go to 1 o'clock. There's just no reason to. But if you went long discretionarily at a pivot stop out inside the zone after divergence, anticipating the mid band at 38/40, you got it. Now they'll make decisions. Yeah, I'll email it out to everybody too, Craig. Absolutely. All right. So I'm asking my programmer a couple questions. If we change the wide trigger thing yet, If not, I mean, you can always do another update. It's okay. It's not a big deal. But anyway, you can see the discretionary trade on that one for me anyway. The other thing, the reason I would take discretion, and you guys know I'm a fan of this, but look at that on the 15-minute chart, your pivot stop out area and a high volume line. Call me a sucker for those, but it's a really good area. And then when this chart agrees, pretty easy money to the upside. There's a lot of money you can make, guys, that it's not. Looks like we've got enough push on the big chart to keep going and actually get ourselves one more signal. So let's see if we get one more, and then we'll wrap it up for the day so I can go make you guys coupons. And all right, there's our signal. Trading into a fib, so that second divergence may get us. Yeah, it did. All right, well, there's my almost 200 bucks. So anyway, 50 bucks as we go up. Anyway, they just took out the low by a tick, and anyway, no big deal. All right, so I think that's your second chance right there. You guys want to take a second chance? We'll do it with a very low risk, and if it goes down past that, we're not going to play anymore. May not go. All right, I got my hand caught in the cookie jar. All right, that's 200 bucks. I'll be done. I'll turn it off. What folder to extract to? It's a system template folder. I thought I typed that in underneath it. Yeah, I did. I typed it underneath it. So there's the path for you. All right, guys. I'm done. Unless you guys have questions or anything you want to go through. If you do not, I will make a version for you guys really quick. If you guys hang out, let me make a coupon for you too. So don't go anywhere. All right, let me take a look at your question. When the small chart prints fibs like this. Fibs like this. Oh, okay. I'm trying to. So when you say fibs like this, this means they're not extending to the right. Is that what you're talking about? So fibs that don't extend to the right are fibs from other time frames. Yeah. So that's your large chart, probably 34.5 fib on the crude oil chart. So that's your big fib time frame, and they don't use trend lines, they just use plots. So the fibs from the native time frame will extend out to the right with a price on them, and the ones that don't extend to the right are still fibs. They're just fibs from another chart. So unless they stop plotting altogether, yes, you still use them and treat them the same way. You think he means if it stops printing and then starts printing again? If it's on your chart, use it. How's that? Is that easy enough? And then that way you don't ever have to guess. If it's on your chart, use it. If it's on your chart, use it. Well, here's the other part. So look, do you see how they stop? So you get a blue line and you get a red line. And the one thing about synthetic fibs is synthetic fibs only plot one level, one support, one resistance. And then if it breaks, and I think that's what you're seeing here. Maybe that's part of your question. See how it breaks the red fib right here? I'll make a white arrow. So the red fib is broken and turns blue, but then you get a new one. So that's 12 o'clock. At 12 o'clock they update, but the synthetic fibs only plot one support, one resistance. And if it breaks, you get one support, one resistance. And if it breaks, you get one support, one resistance. So that's how the synthetic fibs work. They don't plot like the normal pro trader on the regular chart where you have, 6 or 8 lines above and below. It's just whatever's happening live right now. And if you need another one, it'll plot it. And if not, they'll stop. Does that help? Does that answer your question? I guess is what I'm trying to say. So if they're there, use them. And with synthetic fibs, you get one. So, like for example, your big one down here at the bottom, if this one breaks and becomes resistance, then it'll generate the next support fib down. If it doesn't break it, you don't need it, so it won't do it. Yes, absolutely, 100% treat them. Now, this one, no. Don't treat that like it goes across the screen, this little one right here, because it doesn't. If it's on the right edge of the chart, yes, use those. Answer your question. So you don't want to use this fib. Come on, man. Let me get rid of that. I'm going crazy. Come on. All right. So you don't want to use this fib over here, way over here on the right side of the chart. If it is on the right side of the chart, you want to use it. Hopefully that answers your question. All right. Does anybody else have any questions or anything you guys would like to go through or anything else? I'll be more than happy to give you guys the answers. I got answers if you have questions. So look, I owe you two things. If you stick in here, I'm going to put in you know what, I can just do it I'll do it in the announcement so it'll go to everybody. So you don't even have to be in here. So I'll do a quick coupon for the strategy for 20% through the end of the month, which is tomorrow. So it's quick. If you don't want to rush that quick, that's okay too. Take your time. You just get to pay me more. No big deal. And then I will make a version for the website, which will have my current version on here that I have right now. And then if I make changes, we'll do another update. But for now, you guys will get 30.16.4. I'm already making it, so it won't be long. Can I explain which triggers are on the small chart? Sure thing. That's a good question. So there's 3 triggers that are on the small chart. Okay, there's small triggers and large triggers. Are we okay with that? So small triggers, large triggers. And then the only other one that's on here is the large trigger from the other chart. So the large chart has small and large triggers. The small chart has small and large triggers. The third trigger that's on here is literally the large trigger line value from the big chart on the small chart. Yeah, well, you can make it whatever you want. So, and again, I got templates for all of them, but you can go in and just look at it and say, synthetic triggers, what is it? And in the input, you'll see it comes from another time frame, and it's a 34.5 chart. The installer on the website will include current workspaces, charts, ATMs. I need to do the S&P, so I got to remake that workspace. But I'll make a clean one with all the same settings as me with the strategy on it. I have all my templates in there, and then I'll send everybody a coupon through the everyone announcement feature, so that way you don't even have to stick around in here and you won't miss anything. go to Task Manager and turn it off. All right. All right. Just started working with the system this morning. Is there a place for me to go so I can see all the settings on the large and small chart? Yes. So, number one, inside of here, this goes through everything strategy wise. Clank. And specifically, inputs you can click on over here. Look, you guys know these are little shortcuts over here. So, small chart versus large chart, small chart entry option, and then you got input meanings, large chart first, filters or rules, exits, grid display. So everything's in there. Yeah. Well, you're about to get 30.16.4, Taz. As soon as you guys let me go, you'll get it. I'm holding it ransom. All right. And you can always ask questions at any time in the traders chat or the automated system chat. I can see you're in there. You posted something. All right. So I'm opening it up for questions. If anybody has any others, let me know. You just loaded the ones I posted? Yeah. Did you think that that was going to upgrade your strategy too? That's just a template for settings. So I need to give you the indicators and the strategy. So anybody else have any other questions? If you do, put them in. If not, go away. We'll do it again tomorrow. We're done for the day for all intents and purposes. Mark will be back tomorrow. I'm always around, guys. I just want you to know that. So if there's anything that you guys ever have questions, I'm always around. Thursday and Friday, I'm going out of town. But other than that, tomorrow and Wednesday, I'll be here for the rest of the week. So I am keen on getting this thing done and out and in your hands. And I think everybody's going to be really happy. I'm happy. So happy but not satisfied, but we'll say that for another day. All right, guys. I appreciate everybody's time. I'm going to disable the stream. And if, you know, Mark will be here tomorrow, but I'll be here as well. So, the one thing, if you guys have been with Nexgen for any amount of time, you're not left alone ever. We're always here for you. So I appreciate you guys. Friday is my 33rd anniversary. I won't be looking at the markets. I don't know. I don't know what's going on Friday. I know it's April 3rd. It's my anniversary, and I know I got it memorized. I got tattooed on the back of my hand. Oh, it's Good Friday? Yeah, well, it's also Good Friday, my 33rd anniversary. So, 33 years she's put up with me, plus. So, anyway, that's a good thing. All right. I will see you guys shortly. I'll send everybody a message with the coupon, and I'll send everybody on the strategy an email. But all you got to do is check the support page on the website. When I put the date on there, today's date, you'll know you can download it and you'll be up to date. So I will see you guys shortly. Y'all have a great afternoon. I appreciate everybody taking the time to be here, and I will see you guys later. I'll be around. I'm gonna go do work.